How would you describe uh, yourself as the kind of work you do in general, in specific?
Um, I used to do a lot of portraiture and fashion,
Mm,
and then I got back into music. I never attempted working within the music. I love music. I bought a lot of music.
yeah,
Uh, and I'm into, capturing emotion and, just really capturing the essence, at that moment.
yeah, yeah. Um, where'd you grow up, and what was that like? And then how did you find yourself with a camera?
I was born on an island in the Caribbean, Trinidad and Tobago. I grew up on the mainland, Trinidad.
Yeah,
And, I ended up with a camera. I didn't start shooting. I shot a little bit down there, but I was like too young. But my uncles, they always had cameras.
so
And
how old are you when you?
where I'm like 7 at my grandmother's house.
Mm,
I can't get my turn on the on Atari
right,
or the Nintendo. So it's between those times.
right.
So I would be looking through National Geographic, Essence, Vogue, going through my uncle's drawers, playing with the flash, playing with the cameras.
Was there a point when someone said, "Richard, here's a camera.
Um,
Take this. Here's how it works. Do what you will."
no one said that back then, but
Yeah.
we watched a lot of films down there. We
Oh,
we
yeah.
were the first we're the first house with everything because my aunt lived here in
Yeah.
America, so we had the VHS. So films is like going to a film was big.
Yeah. Yeah.
The theater was big, and going to getting the VHS movies, the latest movies was like a big thing. So 2 films every over the weekend.
So what
So
what were the movies that you remember seeing? What was the big ones that you're like, yes, this,
uh, James Bond,
right?
a lot of horror, just like yeah, just like ET, like anything that was big came out.
Yeah.
We were watching it.
'Cause, well, was there a movie theater where you grew up and they
Yeah,
just did,
yeah, yeah. It was the Strand,
right? But
Strand. That was,
it was
Jaws. Or seen Jaws,
wow.
and yeah, that was yeah. I went to sleep. I got traumatized from that one. Like you just that one. I didn't make it through that one. Uh,
Yeah. Well, did you grow up
yeah,
near a beach? I mean, was that like because you got to go in the water and
yeah, yeah.
jump
We
in the
let yeah.
film? There's
A
a
lot of
shark in
we
the fucking
yeah.
water.
That would really changed the narrative. But yeah, I got out of that quickly. We didn't see it was warm water, so you didn't see any.
Sure, sure,
I
sure.
mean, what you tried to look out for was jellyfish and
Mhm.
stepping on a stingray.
Right.
That's about it.
Okay.
Yeah,
How old were you? You moved to New York City?
yeah. We came like 4 times before we finally moved here.
Mm,
So in Brooklyn, that's when the music thing started.
yeah. Because how
Um,
old are you at this point? You a teenager yet? No.
no, I'm like 9.
Right.
So in between that time, we're traveling here on vacation
Mm,
during the summer. So going to Brooklyn.
yeah. What was kind of music that you were exposed to in Brooklyn that was different than
I mean, right off the plane, I'm in the backseat of Cadillac and like switched around and that's leather seat. I mean, you can like
yeah,
Eric B. and Rakim.
right.
Yeah, I remember that getting exposed to that. Like, I'm like, what is that?
Hmm.
That was sick.
Yeah.
Reggae.
Right.
Whatever was on Soul Train. My uncle was really into Soul Train every Saturday.
Yeah. Do you feel like I don't I don't understand what's going on? I'm just kind of looking at
I
it
ended up.
through a lens of someone who grew up in a completely different environment, or was it?
I was supposed to be in Brooklyn, and I'm kind of happy that didn't happen. But
Mm,
I could have went. It might have worked out for me. But I ended up in New Jersey. but
Right.
I would be in Brooklyn every weekend. I
Mm.
would just always like travel back and forth.
So while you're doing this kind of work, were you doing your own kind of more
Yeah,
experimental
I
or
was
just
just yeah, I was doing a lot of like shooting in the Caribbean and just like street photography.
yeah.
And then I saw what was going on in Brooklyn, and it was like, yeah,
Mm. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's like, yeah, I want to how I want to make the images of like from what I hear, like I have to make it look like how it sounds,
Mm.
right? So that's what I concentrated on.
Right, right, right. I mean, that's what I was going to say. It's a challenge, as I was saying, it's a challenge to document with a photograph what is happening in that room. And
Right.
I think your method of coming at it by, yeah, kind of figuring out what is the most practical piece of equipment I can use in this environment to get me
Hmm.
around the space. Because you realize, oh, this isn't just, I'm going to quietly crouch in the corner and like compose the piece. Oh, this is beautiful. It's you walking around and just sometimes I would see you just with, just literally pointing the camera in the direction of the performer while you're looking in the other direction, just kind of walking through the space, which
Right.
to me is why then when I would see, like the document, the book that you did with Val, I was in that room when that shot was taken, and that's how it felt.
Mm.
And some of it is uh, just subconscious. It's almost like you're playing with kind of the natural circumstances of chaos, and but capturing it, putting it in within the parameter of the photograph. But within that, there's a lot going on.
Yeah, there's a
There's a
lot
lot
going
going.
on, and I'm just like, you gotta take yourself out of it. I'm trying to take myself out of it.
Yeah.
So really, it's about us in the room. So even the audience. So what I'm saying, you gotta take yourself out of it. Just moving around, dancing, even
Yeah.
just like
So I think it's interesting where you see, especially the 21st century, and people who grew up in this century and have had the technological innovations at their fingertips. Everyone has a mini computer in their pocket, and I don't know if we're still there's still value in going back and saying, well, what about the baseline piece of technology? What can I do with just the camera? That's just a camera. It's not a camera and a phone and a thing and does all these type of things. And you can it's like what is it going to give me? And I think the same thing is happening musically, where people are going back and being like, what is the core piece that I can develop from, rather than like I can do anything I want with this laptop. That's a different kind of overload where you lose interest because there's no challenge.
right. That's why I shot that Amani in King Vision Ultra video. I shot it with the this camera I found at a thrift store.
Wow.
It only does one thing,
That came about. Have you made a video before? Or
Yeah, I made a video with Saint Abdullah
okay,
film type of thing, performance film.
right.
Yeah.
Okay. But this was your first thing for them
Right. Hmm.
specifically. And was there a concept involved, or were they just like, Richard, do your thing?
They wanted to do time. I mean, there's a pandemic going on.
Yeah. I mean, that's the other.
You need fresh air. We
Yeah.
just decided to do it in
There's also the question of just what was it like 2020 for you? Obviously, we didn't have shows to go take pictures of, but did you stop taking pictures altogether, or you just
I've been doing a lot of the bigger life shit. Just thinking. I'm working on a journal, and I just been like working on the branding for that. I just like slowed down. Everybody's just like, I mean, they say never let a good disaster go to waste, but for me, it was just like my health was like a big concern,
yeah,
and I just been thinking of how I fit in this community,
Yeah.
and just let me just be strategic and think about my next move. Um, with all this stuff I've archived, I'm really into this journal. I think I have basically everything. I'm just making sure when I'm starting putting together, I have everything I want to, how I'm gonna, uh, just let me just be strategic and think about my next move.
What are what are your feelings also in just things opening up and shows starting to happen again? If that happens, will you be there or will you be kind of I need to hold out until things are a little bit more
I mean,
around?
I follow the music, so I'm gonna be there. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm gonna be there. If there's a space, you know,
Yeah. I mean,
right?
I feel the same. It's just yeah, it's a mind fuck because
Yeah,
all right, Richard Ross.
Richard
And
R.
what's that? Richard R. Okay, triple R,
Yeah,
triple R.
yes, sir.
I think we got a bunch.